Hey everybody, Noah here, and today we're just going to be talking a little bit about an upcoming camp and my experience in the previous camp that I just did. We're just going to be talking about mindfulness in general and how mindfulness can contribute to an outdoor camp. I was talking to some friends the other day, and they were talking about how on unusual backpacking trips, whether it's adults or teenagers or kids, really, most people are able to hold their steam in or their anger with each other in for about 6 days, and then you need to start resolving things because it starts to get overloaded. So we were taught a method called OFNR. Some of you may have heard of it before. It's observe, feel, need, request, and you go through each of those. What do you observe about the situation? What's your feelings for the situation? And what do you need from the other person? What do you need in general? And then your request of how you'd like it to be ended. And each person does that, and so it was just a really good way to sum up conflicts. And I don't think many of the kids in my group actually enjoyed it, but I think it was really helpful personally. So one thing that not a lot of people expect when you go into the wilderness, and some people just look over this, but when you step into the woods or the mountains or the whatever it is, the desert, something overcomes you and something takes over your brain and goes, okay, we are here, we are now. And I think that's really important to note when you're planning out your summer and stuff like that. It is going on a journey or a backpacking trip or a biking trip or anything like that, some sort of adventure, is really going to help your well-being in the long term. So going on this trip, I always notice with any backpacking trip like this where there are no technology or tech devices, I tend to unconsciously go into this state of meditation almost, and wanting to be a part of meditation and mindfulness. So throughout this camp, we did quite a few mindfulness activities, and some of them the group didn't really enjoy, and some of them the group really did enjoy, but all of them were instigated by one of our leaders named Kyle, and he's doing another camp this year actually called I think it's the Mindfulness outdoor camp. I can't remember what it's called, but it's 8 days long, and I'll put a link to that camp in the description if you'd like to go sign up for some fun yourself. I think it's going to be a really great camp. I won't be able to make it, but it's going to be very similar to the one I just went on, which is kind of nice. One of the most crucial things that we did throughout almost every day was called mindfulness check-ins or mindful check-ins, and we did them about 2 or 3 times a day at each snack and water break. And I hadn't really heard of this concept before, but it was the idea of just sitting down and thinking about the day and doing your reflection in your brain. And one thing that you definitely start to notice as you get into a backcountry hike is something that puts you at ease, something that helps you. And that thing for me was rivers. Rivers and creeks and any flowing water of any sort is really soothing to me. It really puts my mind at ease. On the part of the hike, near the end of the hike, it was kind of, I think it was 3 days from the end of the hike, we stopped in a basin or kind of a valley almost, and we did the 48-hour solo. This was interesting. I was not as prepared as I may have envisioned for this whole ordeal, but yeah, it was interesting because we were placed so close together that it was hard to resist the urge to talk to other people. You were basically put in the trees between markers. It was a fixed spot. You weren't allowed to move really. You had your camp. They delivered your food each day. And I was told originally that was made for when the campers ran out of food, they would stop and they would fast for 2 days while they were saving up the food, and then they would continue. Now, I didn't really like the fasting part of it. I ended up fasting for about a day, and I didn't really enjoy that. But and I didn't like the lack of freedom. But I guess that's how it goes sometimes. So on this solo, you know, you were just supposed to pick up on your own your spiritual aspect of life, and you were just supposed to dig real deep into that. It was kind of a finding yourself rather than a survival solo, which took me a little while to get the hang of and get used to that. But overall, I would do it again, as long as I knew kind of what you were supposed to be doing. But yeah. Hey guys, thanks so much for watching, and if you haven't already, go check out the Outward Bound link in the description, and please support them with all that you can. It's greatly appreciated.